with continuing the demise of sort of what's been happening in blogging and content, you then were the first person to really shock people. It shocked me when you said, "I am giving up blogging."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I get this link to your newsletter, which is the type of things you put in a blog, but basically you get to control the feedback. Was that the purpose? And the other thing, obviously, is you still have 110,000 people who follow you on Twitter, and is that sort of what's going to happen to people who want to have an authentic voice with an audience?
Well, blogging basically became, for anybody who was influential in the first phase of blogging, you basically became a target. Because everybody say, oh, you have to link me. Okay, so fight with these 5 bloggers and you will be important. So if you can pick a fight with these people, you're going to, that's how you sort of make your bones. And it was like, well, that's sort of like being an old mobster or something like that. You're like, I don't want to die. I want to retire. Like Tony Soprano was like, I want out. Like, how do I get out of this? Like, this has been great, but I need out. I don't want to get whacked. I don't want to be fighting outside the parking lot. And that's basically what it turned into. It's just like everybody like, oh, let me start a fight with Jason. Then I'd see people in person like, yeah, I didn't really mean what I said. I just wanted to get you to respond. It's like, oh, okay, great. So, and the same 20 or 30 people who I had either fired or beat as competitors, or who were suffering from mental illness or alcoholism or drug use, would follow me everywhere on the internet and post 30 comments. And it would be really disturbing / funny and sad when you see the same IP address acting as 3 different people having a conversation with themselves in your comments, and you're like, don't you even understand that you have the same IP address? And this person is obviously mentally deranged because they're writing, I posted at 2 a.m. and they're writing comments at 2:05 and writing 3 of them in 3 personas. Like, this stuff actually happened. I was like, whoa, this is just bizarre. It's sort of like anybody who reaches any level of status looks at the Wikipedia and laughs. They're like, oh, your Wikipedia page. They're like, yeah, that's the place where the people who hate me collect. So every enemy that you've collected over the years basically lives on your Wikipedia page, and anytime anybody writes anything positive, they're like, oh, no, criticism. Like every page is like criticism. You know what? I'm sure you can say some critical things about me, but I mean, it's not going to be in my biography, or it doesn't even be on my encyclopedic page. Like they're so minor. That's not a major, but it's generally so minor. But those are the people who sort of get active in that. And I was like, well, where are all the intelligent people? And I'm like, oh, when there's a screaming match, if we were at dinner right now and somebody gets up and starts screaming at another person and telling them that they're an idiot, and they throw their, pasta on them, and the person says you're dumb and ugly, and intelligent people go, wow, this has been a great dinner party. You leave. That's what happened at the dinner party. It became like a mud fest. It became lowest common denominator, people who can't even write well, people who don't really have anything to express, and maybe a lack of knowledge, or who are just trying to game the system for profit. So I'm out. I'll email. So I just took the 100 people, 200 people in my email box who I respect most and who I like to communicate with, and I said, here's some thoughts. And then, 18 months, 24 months later, it's over 20,000 people. And then I said, wait a second, this is so much better. I would email and get 500 to 2,000 people would respond. And this would be CEOs of companies or VCs or other journalists, and they would write back 500 words. And I said, where were you people when I had my blog? Why weren't you writing stuff? And they're like, oh, there's just a bunch of idiots on your site writing stuff.
Well, Chris, you're one of the great natural PR people. You can put that as one of your.
I've never had a PR person.
Well, you don't need one. You know Mark Cuban. I mean, it's like you put under specialties like finding, inspiring, and keeping great people, turning trends into businesses, getting lots of press. And obviously, you're a natural master at that. But one of the things that you have done with your this is a classic PR trick with your newsletter is you'd always put, for certain things, do not post this without my permission, and then that would guarantee that it would be posted on TechCrunch within 20 minutes.
Yeah, that was an interesting debate with Mike, who we were friends at the time. A little bit of falling off since then. Yeah, it was just like people were like, oh my God, this is so great. Everybody's got to read it. And Henry Balaji would post it. And I'm like, it says don't post. Just don't post it. Because I don't want to be in a public debate about it. I want to have a discussion with intelligent people. Once you post it on the web, all the idiots go, okay, how can we social media optimize that? PR people are, in some think tank somewhere going, okay, now that Jason has said X, how can we say X minus Y equals our company's value proposition? And it's just like, really? Like, it's just my opinion on Facebook. It doesn't become your business plan. And people would be like, oh, well, see, Jason said this, therefore that means our business is, going to be successful. Wait. It's not like that. And
so you were never able to get out of the news cycle by doing that, although you perhaps were able to control a little bit more.
It actually worked, because for me, I got what I wanted. which was I was communicating with the right people,
Right.
they were communicating with me, and it was asymmetrical.
Right.
I was getting more information and knowledge than everybody else. Bingo, I win. Awesome. You know, like I send out these ideas, and then everybody emails me and tells me what's wrong and why privately. Now I'm smarter. Now I understand the industry more. Now I understand life more. Okay, winning.
Yep.
Duh.
All right, Mr. Sheehan.